What happens when a music legend sits down for what should be a simple conversation about his career, but instead finds himself under attack by a host who seems determined to tear him down on live television? In just 25 seconds, one comment changed everything. Denise Welch went from television presenter to one of the most criticized figures on morning TV, while Rod Stewart became the person who finally said what many viewers at home were thinking. This is the story of the day loose women crossed a line it could never take back. Rod Stewart walked onto the Loose Women set to loud applause from the studio audience. He was there to talk about his latest album, his upcoming tour, and to reflect on his long and successful career. Dressed sharply in a suit, he waved to the crowd and took his seat on the familiar panel sofa. Sitting across from him were the four hosts for the day: Denise Welch, Kay Adams, Janet Street Porter, and Nadia Sala. At first, the atmosphere felt warm and welcoming. Smiles were exchanged, greetings were polite, and everything seemed relaxed, but it wouldn't stay that way for long. Kay Adams opened the conversation with an easy question: "Rod, it's wonderful to have you here. Your new album has been doing incredibly well. What inspired it?" Rod smiled, clearly comfortable. "Well, I've been doing this for over 50 years, and I still find inspiration everywhere. This album is about looking back on the journey, but also looking forward. It's really about gratitude. Gratitude for the fans, the music, and life itself." The audience applauded warmly. Nadia Sala followed up: "That's lovely, Rod. And you're still touring at your age, which is amazing. How do you keep your energy up?" "I love what I do," Rod replied. "When you're passionate about something, age is just a number. I try to stay healthy, stay active, and the fans give me energy. Seeing them sing along is all the motivation I need." More applause followed. Everything was going smoothly. Almost too smoothly. Then Denise Welch leaned forward. Something in her expression changed the mood instantly. A slight smirk, a look that suggested she had been waiting for her moment. "Rod," she began, her voice falsely sweet, "I have to ask something many people have wondered about." Rod nodded calmly. "Go ahead." "Well," Denise continued, "you've had several relationships over the years, multiple marriages, several children with different women. Some people might say that shows a lack of commitment, an inability to settle down." The audience fell silent. The tension was immediate. Kay Adams shifted in her seat. Janet Street Porter raised her eyebrows. Nadia glanced down at her notes. Rod's smile faded, but he stayed composed. "I think that's a harsh way to put it. I've been married 3 times. Yes. I have 8 wonderful children whom I love very much. Some relationships didn't work out, but I've always tried my best and always been there for my kids." "But have you?" Denise pressed. "When you have children with different mothers in different countries, can you really be present, or is it more about enjoying yourself and moving on when things get difficult?" The audience gasped. Someone audibly said, "Oh my God." Rod straightened up, his jaw tight. "Hold on. I don't appreciate that suggestion. I love my children. I've worked hard to be part of each of their lives. Being a parent isn't easy, especially with a career that takes you around the world, but I've never abandoned my responsibilities." Sensing the tension, Janet tried to intervene. "Perhaps we should return to talking about the music," but Denise wasn't finished. She cut Janet off. "I'm just saying what people at home are thinking. You're wealthy. You've lived a life of excess. Meanwhile, single mothers struggle to get by. And here you are with multiple families, likely paying child support to keep people quiet. The other panelists looked horrified. Kay covered her mouth. Nadia shook her head. Rod's expression shifted from shock to anger. Paying to keep people quiet? That's ridiculous. I take care of my children because they're my children. That's what a father does. Don't sit here and paint me as a deadbeat dad. You know nothing about my life. Oh, but we know enough. Denise shot back. Broken hearts. Engagements that didn't last. Children in your 60s, which some people find selfish. That was the moment Rod had enough. He stood up. I came here to talk about music. Instead, you've turned this into a personal attack on my character and my family. I'm not staying for this. The studio was silent. Denise doubled down. Walking away again, just like everything else in your life. Rod turned back, calm but firm. I'm walking away because you're being disrespectful to me, to my children, and to anyone watching who has a blended family. You're judging lives you don't understand as if you're morally superior. You're not. Kay Adams tried to step in. Rod, please. Rod gently stopped her. This isn't about you, Janet, or Nadia. You've all been respectful. But Denise believes this panel gives her permission to tear people down for drama. I've been in this business long enough to recognize that. I'm asking what people want, answered, Denise said. No. Rod replied. You're asking questions meant to shame me. You could have asked respectfully. Instead, you made it nasty. Janet spoke up. He's right. This went too far. Nadia agreed. We should have stayed music focused on the music. The audience began applauding slowly at first, then louder. Rod turned back one final time. My children might see this. Their mothers might see this. And they'll see someone trying to shame their father for entertainment. His voice cracked slightly. I've made mistakes. I've had failed relationships. But my children are not mistakes. My love for them is not a flaw. The applause grew. Some people stood. Denise tried to regain control. Sit back down and let's talk like adults. Rod laughed bitterly. Adults don't ambush guests, adults show respect. Kay stood and apologized on behalf of the show. Rod unclipped his microphone and placed it on the sofa. I appreciate the invitation, but I'm leaving. As he walked away, Denise called out, running away won't change the facts. Rod stopped. The facts are I have 8 children I love. I've made music for over 5 decades. I'm proud of my life, and I won't be ashamed. The audience erupted in applause. Denise stood frozen, arms crossed, stunned by the reaction. Rod nodded to the crowd and walked off the set. Back on the panel, silence filled the studio. Nadia finally spoke. Those weren't tough questions. They were attacks, Kay added. There's a difference between discussing someone's work and attacking their family. Denise insisted she stood by her words. But the damage was done. What should have been a simple interview became a viral moment. Rod Stewart left with his dignity intact, having stood up for himself and his family. Denise Welch, meanwhile, became a cautionary example of what happens when drama replaces decency. Rod Stewart came to talk about music. Instead, he delivered a powerful reminder. It's okay to walk away when respect is gone.